reaction to him on Sunday night, because he doesn't hide that side of his.
Yeah, they did weigh in earlier. They're doing it like UFC. Also, they do it for top ranked pay-per-views as well. So they weighed in earlier officially. So this is the ceremonial weigh-in we're about to watch. They're going to be starting any moment now. So everything went smoothly. I watched the actual weigh-in earlier today. It was from about I would say about 8 a.m. until about 10:30 a.m. or so Eastern time. So tomorrow's the card, $59.99 on Showtime pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's confusing a lot of people. No, it is not tonight. It is a Sunday night card, August the 29th, my birthday. I'm going to be chilling though, covering the card. Had my family do a little barbecue for me today. And yeah, we're chilling. So we're going to be here for about the next hour, 90 minutes or so. Chew the fat. I don't know what's taking them so long to start. Let me make sure. Oh, there it is right there. Perfect. Real time. Take your time out. Like the video. Subscribe. What happened? Okay, they just went black screen on us. Here, let me go see what's going on here. Let me do a little quick oh, no, they here. We here. All right, so I'm going to shut up. And we're going to talk after. But yeah, by the way, I got Woodley. I think Jake Paul has met his match. I think, you know, I like what Jake has done for boxing. But I think that Tyron Woodley is going to have his number. But anyway, let me turn it up. Take your time out. Please like the video, subscribe. This is T Street Controversy with FightView360.com.
Ah, beat your ass.
24-year-old Jake Paul started out as a social media sensation.
Clearly it works.
A lifelong disruptor.
Got your hat. Go! Got your hat, baby.
Who turned millions of followers into an unlikely boxing career.
Meme season!
Coming to headline a pay-per-view blockbuster. In only his...
You can't play this little promo right here. Showtime don't mess around, so this is probably copyrighted. So that's why I got the disclaimer up here until the broadcast starts. They're probably going to start off with Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell of the Morning Combat and CBS podcast. So that's probably what they're going to do. It's probably going to be a whole weigh-in show with interviews and all. I wouldn't be surprised if this shit's an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long, because Jake Paul's there too, and they're treating this like it's a really, really significant, super big event. So they're going to have special guests and all that shit. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be here covering the card. You're going to have Daniel Dubois, actually Tommy Fury taking on an Antonio Taylor. Is that the dude's name? Lord knows. Let me pull it up. The card at 8 p.m. is going to open up with Tommy Fury versus, oh wait, they're here. Oh no, we're starting. All right, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the KeyBank State Theater here in Cleveland, Ohio, for the weigh-in for our big night of action coming away tomorrow night at the Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse here in Cleveland, brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions, Holden Productions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View. Of course, this event is headlined by the showdown between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. We want to let you know that our pay-per-view event begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, and it is available on Showtime.com and the Showtime app as well. If you do want to join us there live, tickets are available starting at only $25, and you can go to RocketFieldHouse.com. At this time, I'd like to introduce some special guests who are here with us this afternoon as part of our program as well. First, from Barstool Sports, the founder, Dave Portnoy, along with Barstool Sports Book's own Dan Big Cat Katz. And to hear from them at this time, ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you my colleague and co-host for this afternoon, noted combat sports journalist Ariel Helwani.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Jimmy Lennon. Guys, don't be shy. Yes, this is our office right here. Boy, oh boy. Dave Portnoy. Give it up for this man, a living legend. Big Cat. I believe, guys, this is what they call worlds colliding. It's MMA boxing, but it's also me and the Barstool guys. And, of course, Barstool Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of this great event. Dave, I'll go to you first. One question. Everyone knows the rules. Did I do that right? Respect. Okay, thank you. How excited are you to be here in Cleveland in the 216 for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley?
Well, I love Cleveland, so it's always good to be back, and I'm looking for the fight. I have no idea what's going to happen, like none, so I'm super excited for it.
Big Cat, you're the betting guy. Barstool Sportsbook. What are the lines as of right this moment?
So right now, Jake Paul to win in decision or TKO is minus 225. We have it boosted, though. I'd assume everyone here thinks Jake Paul's going to knock him out, right? So it's plus 150. Logan, his brother, has the exclusive bet on the Barstool Sportsbook app.
All right. We will get their official prediction later in this here broadcast, but for now, let us send it over to the legend, the classy one, Jimmy Lennon Jr., everyone.
Thank you, Ariel. Well, fans, we are ready to bring out our fighters for our opening attraction tomorrow night at the Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. This fight will be off TV starting at 7 p.m. local time. We're going to first bring our fighters out to the stage at this time. Please welcome first the undefeated southpaw from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Juan Carlos Rubio.
Well, if the fight's untelevised, then why are we having a ceremonial weigh-in? So
and we invite his opponent out to the stage at this time.
Here.
He's the undefeated Cleveland native, the former Olympian Charles Conwell.
Understand that the fighters all weighed in earlier today, so this is some ceremonial shit right here. By the way, Charles Conwell, he's the guy who had the ESPN story last week, said his manager told him to fake an injury to get off 2 cards. That same manager is the manager of Teofimo Lopez.
It is scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. First to the scale.
Yeah, but if this fight's untelevised, like, bro, why are we doing a ceremonial weigh-in? But yeah, I'm going to be here tomorrow night covering the fight. Well, not this fight, but the card. Tommy Fury, Daniel Dubois, Mantis Serrano, Paul Woodley.
And his opponent to the scale at this time.
Yeah, it's a pointless weigh-in, just for show, shits and giggles. Also, this is open to the public. I believe in Cleveland, Ohio, State Athletic Commission made, like, their rules are the fighters have to weigh in really early. So they're just doing this for the fans and views and shit. Overall, my buzz level is about a 6 of 10.
And we're going to bring our fighters together for a face-off on this. Once again, it's our opening
about a 6 of 10.
Attraction. You're going to have to be there live in order to see it.
Yeah, this is pay-per-view.
Once again at the Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse here in Cleveland.
It says it right there on the screen, man. Pay-per-view. By the way, you heard about Pac versus Ugas, 250,000 pay-per-view buys? I believe that number. Pay-per-view's dying, man.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 10 rounds of action. Super welterweights, Charles Conwell, Juan Carlos Rubio.
How about you go watch the shit somewhere else, Tony B? It's my goddamn show. Don't make me start cussing, bro.
All right,
so
man,
shut up.
We're going to now weigh in our fighters in our opening pay-per-view attraction featuring cruiserweights. And at this time, we invite to the stage at this time, please welcome from Alameda, California. He's an MMA veteran of 12 bouts, making his second boxing fight. Please welcome Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time, joining us all the way from Manchester, England. His record, 6 wins, no losses, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated Tommy TNT Fury.
Tommy Fury just does not like leg day, yo. All upper body.
And it looks like our fighters are ready to step onto the scale at this time. It is 4 rounds of boxing scheduled, once again in the cruiserweight division. First to the scale, the upset-minded cruiserweight, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. 175 pounds for Anthony Taylor, 175.
By the way, this guy's 0-1.
And his opponent ready to step onto the scale at this time, representing the renowned boxing family from England. Making his U.S. debut, here is the undefeated Tommy TNT Fury. Tommy Fury weighs in at 179 pounds, 179 for TNT Fury.
Top, but a welterweight bottom.
And in the between them, we have Frank Warren from Queensberry Promotions. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy TNT Fury, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, opening up our pay-per-view fight. Available on Showtime.com and the Showtime app.
These two guys been jibber-jabbering with each other all week. I've been watching all the build-up. I watched the whole Rio weigh-in earlier today, about 6 hours or so, but maybe give or take.
Okay, Sam.
All right. Let me get a word here with Anthony Taylor, then we'll talk to Tommy. Anthony, Pretty Boy Taylor, you have been talking a lot all week long, but everyone says you are in over your head. You are too small. You are too short. Why are you going to shock the world and upset Tommy Fury tomorrow night?
Man, this is like a real Adonis Creed versus Drago type of thing, man. This is like a dream come true. I fight guys like that all the time. They don't like, that's a bum right there. That's a catfish. That's a real catfish. We're going to take him back to Love Island. Because him coming to America, he already going to know what's up.
Anthony Taylor, good luck to you tomorrow night. We'll have a quick word here with Tommy TNT Fury. Intense stare down over there, Tommy. What do you see in his eyes when he's looking up at you like that?
I see nothing. I see a scared, weak little man. He's getting knocked spark out tomorrow in front of all this lovely crowd. His head is coming off.
Tommy TNT Fury, undefeated, traveling over to the United States for the very first time to compete tomorrow night. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
All right, fans, we're ready to go. We continue with our weigh-in, featuring this time 2 contenders in this battle. Scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing, brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions, Holden Productions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View. Please welcome to the stage at this time a Cleveland native, undefeated southpaw contender. How about a hand for Too Pretty Montana Love?
I'm interested in this fight, Montana Love versus Ivan Baranchyk. Barancyk's last fight was against Jose Zepeda, potential knockout.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Florida by way of Russia. He is the former IBF junior welterweight champion of the world, Ivan the Beast Baranchyk.
I'm talking about he was slick. Okay, I'll show you.
All right, fans, we're ready to bring them to the scale at this time. Super lightweights, 10 rounds of action scheduled. First to the scale with a fine record of 15 wins, no losses, 1 draw, and 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Cleveland's own undefeated, Too Pretty Montana
Pretty nasty,
Love.
He was fucked up. I think that's my thumbnail.
140 pounds for Montana Love, and even 140 pounds. And his opponent, a world rank contender and former champion of the world, onto the scale, Ivan the Beast Baranchyk. £141 for the Beast, 141 pounds.
Yeah, man, he was sleep bad. Like, it was ugly. This don't do it no justice. Like, he was fucked up. Like, bro, he was fucked up bad. I'm glad to see him back because I thought that nigga was dead. For real, when you watching that shit live and see somebody go to sleep like that, you be like, oh shit, what the fuck? And I think he walked that shit off, didn't he? He didn't get carted out. He walked it off. Ew, I'm trying to kiss him.
It's going to be fireworks in the ring tomorrow night. Ivan the Beast Baranchyk, Too Pretty Montana Love. Pay-per-view available on Showtime.com and the Showtime app.
Did he try to push him off the stage? Oh no, Baranchyk. Maybe he got some. He's a loose cannon now. Ever since he got beat up, he's a loose cannon. This shit fucked him up. Now he's a hothead.
Ivan, if I could get a quick word with you. Ivan, let me get a quick word with you, and I'll get to you right after Montana.
No, I'm first.
I wanted to give the hometown guy the second word.
I'm first.
All right. He's from the 216. Show some love for Montana Love. What did you say to this man? It got a little intense over there. What did you say to Ivan up there?
I'm fucking him up, man. Straight up, I'm fucking him up.
This is Joe.
You hear me? No chin. He going straight out, man.
All right. Thank you very much for the time, Montana, and good luck tomorrow. What did you say to him up there?
Guys, if you want to see the real fight, I will show you. Shut up. I will show you the real fight, and I will knock him out.
Ivan Baranchyk, one half of the 2020 Fight of the Year. That's going to be an incredible fight. Cleveland versus Belarus tomorrow night.
Ivan the Terrible.
All right, fans, here we go. We're ready to bring our fighters for our next fight. It features heavyweights in a showdown. You don't want to miss this fight. Knockout artists. And it's brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions, Holden Productions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View. Now, let's bring our fighters out to the stage. First, please welcome. He is fighting out of Richmond, Virginia, by way of Italy. He's the hard-hitting heavyweight. Please welcome Giuseppe Angelo Cusumano.
Yeah, bro, what happened to Ivan Baranchyk? He didn't used to be like that. He had a few screws knocked loose. I like it.
And we'll bring out his opponent to the stage at this time, joining us from London, England. He's a top world-ranked heavyweight making his U.S. debut, Dynamite Daniel Dubois. Let's bring our fighters to the scale at this time. Once again, heavyweights in action. Scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. First joining us to the scale at this time. His record, 19 wins, 3 losses, with 17 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the hard-hitting Giuseppe Angelo Cusumano.
Don't Daniel Dubois seem like he still live with his grandma? And he was raised by her, he only go to church.
235.5 pounds, 235.5 pounds for Giuseppe Angelo Cusumano.
I bet you he got like.
And now his opponent onto the scale at this time, ranked the top heavyweight contender. His record 16-1 with 15 big wins coming by way of knockout. The exciting heavyweight contender in his U.S. debut, Dynamite Daniel Dubois.
They're like, nah.
238 pounds for Daniel Dubois, 238 pounds. And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. Dynamite Daniel Dubois, Giuseppe Angelo Cusumano. Heavyweight featured attraction, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled. Pay-per-view on Showtime.com and the Showtime app.
Just quick word with Giuseppe, and then we'll talk to Daniel as well. If I could just get a quick word with you. All the talk this week has been about his American TV debut, about him being the big prospect. Do you feel like you are being overlooked going into this fight?
Yes, this is a chance of a lifetime. I'm going out there and I'm giving it my all.
Looking forward to it, my friend. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Giuseppe Cusumano, everyone. Let's have a word with Dynamite Daniel Dubois, a massive, massive prospect coming over from the UK, making his American debut tomorrow night. My friend, there's a lot of talk, a lot of buzz about you being the next great heavyweight to come from the UK. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, both made their American debuts on Showtime. You're next. What does this moment mean for you?
Devastation. That's what I want to bring to this next performance. I can't wait.
We can't wait as well. Remember this name, Daniel Dubois, everyone.
Why are you so negative? Shit.
All right, fans, here we go. We're ready to bring out fighters in our co-main event of the evening. It's a world championship attraction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage at this time from Chihuahua, Mexico. She is the challenger. She currently holds the Super Bantamweight World Championship. Please welcome Yamileth Mercado. And now we bring out her opponent, the defending world champion, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, by way of Carolina, Puerto Rico. She's a 7-division world champion, currently holding the WBC, the WBO, and the IBO Featherweight World Championship. The one and only, the real deal, Amanda Serrano. All right, we're ready to bring our fighters onto the scale at this time. Once again, this is for the WBC, the WBO, and the IBO Featherweight Female World Championship. The weight limit is 126 pounds even. First to the scale at this time in her 5th world title appearance. She is the challenger. She is the WBC Female Super Bantamweight World Champion, Yamileth Mercado.
Yamileth. I like that name. She's a pretty.
Yamileth Mercado weighs in at a ready 124 pounds. 124 pounds for the challenger, Yamileth Mercado.
Go on, Yamileth.
And now on to the scale at this time with a tremendous professional record of 40 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. She is the defending WBC, WBO, and IBO Featherweight World Champion, the real deal, Amanda Serrano.
I definitely see the weight difference from when she weighed in this morning. She definitely put on a couple pounds.
Amanda Serrano weighs in the same as her opponent, 124 pounds, 124 for the real deal, Amanda Serrano.
I met her once. I actually interviewed her. It was at like Luis Ortiz. It was supposed to be his 37th birthday party, but we know that motherfucker ain't 37. Her sister, she got you shut up. That's her husband in the back. That's Cindy Serrano, bro. I tell you.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the co-main event. It is for the championship of the world. Amanda Serrano versus Yamileth Mercado.
We keep it professional around here. I don't want to have to start blocking people for inappropriate comments. Don't make me do it. How do you thirsty ass? These some beautiful women up there. Lord have mercy. Lord Jesus.
Amanda, big moment for you representing Puerto Rico. If I could just have you over here. You are one of the best female fighters on the planet. You have not lost in almost a decade. You have won 26 in a row. You're winning fights in boxing and in MMA. but I know you feel sometimes you don't get the respect that you deserve. Is this the moment? Is this the fight that finally gets you the respect that you deserve?
I definitely believe so. Right now, leading up to this fight, I've got more attention, more fans, more people. I didn't know I had so many fans here in Cleveland. Here we go. But I think this is the time, and I want to thank Jake Paul, Showtime Boxing, for this opportunity, for believing in me. I've made history on Showtime, and I hope and I plan I can continue to make history here.
I wish you the best of luck. This is one of the best fighters on the planet, regardless of gender. Put some respect on Amanda Serrano's name, everyone.
Well, fans, we have a couple of special guests we'd like to hear from now. At this time, I'd like to introduce and we bring out onto the stage the official tattoo artist of the main event.
Really? It's going to get cringe
She
now.
will tattoo the loser at the end of the main event. Please welcome the renowned tattoo artist, Tattoo Baby.
Really? Really? Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, let her come on out. Ooh. Wait a minute.
Tattoo Baby.
I don't know, cuz.
Tattoo Baby, it is great to meet you. She has more Instagram followers than this entire theater combined. This is actual royalty in front of us as well. Tattoo Baby, you have been brought out here by Jake Paul, but you want to make clear you're down the middle, right? You're unbiased. You are here to tattoo the loser if it's Jake Paul or Tyron Woodley, correct?
I'm a tattoo artist. I got hired to do a job. Whoever loses this fight, be ready for me.
I'm lurking on
now,
her
is there a
gram as we
certain
speak.
spot that you would like to tattoo the loser on? Is there a spot that you have picked out, or will you leave that to the loser?
If it was up to me, the heart. But I'll let them choose.
Okay, and finally, this is going to happen if it's up to you in the locker room immediately after the fight is over. Is that the plan?
That's the plan.
All right. Tattoo Baby, everyone. Show some love for the legend. Thank you.
And now we have another special guest we'd like to hear from. Certainly he is very impartial. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for social media sensation, multi-talented YouTube magnet, the Maverick, Logan Paul.
Gloves for sanitation. What are you talking about? Grow up.
Logan, my man, it is great to meet you for the first time. I know it's your brother fighting, but this is your hometown. You guys grew up here. You came from very little, and he just sold 20,000 tickets where the Cavs play. What does this moment mean for the Paul family?
Everything. This is literally everything. Everything we've ever worked for in our lives. It's funny, I just came from the house I grew up in, and you know, we did come from humble beginnings, and you hear us talk about it, and to see it come to fruition in real life, finally, after 7 years of building, we get to bring it all home. It's a dream come true, man. I'm so proud of Jake. Cleveland, I love y'all. I love y'all. Hey, we're just getting started. We'll be back many times. First of many. Jake's gonna make history on Sunday. Be there. Damn, it's gonna be crazy.
And I have to ask, you've competed as well. You just went up against arguably the greatest of all time, Floyd Mayweather. More nervous to watch your brother fight than when you're in the locker room about to fight yourself?
Always. You know, he's my blood. You know, he's my kin. I love him more than anything in the world. And, you know, it's, you want him to do well. But for Floyd, you know, there were no nerves. And every time Jake fights, you know, I feel it a little bit. But I know he got it under control. He's going to get the job done. It's going to be good.
All right, let's get real crazy now. Let's bring back the Barstool Boys here. Real worlds collide. Logan Paul, Dave Portnoy, Big Cat. Do you know this guy? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, he works with boys with him, yes.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I mean, these are all boys here. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that the moment is now. We're about to see Jake and Tyron. I don't want you to offend anyone, Dave, but can we get the official El Prez prediction?
Yeah, so I like both guys. I think Jake...
Sit on the fence. Come on.
Jake's too big for him. I think Jake knocks him out. But it is MMA versus boxing, so a lot on the line. But I just think Jake's bigger. But I'm excited. I'm excited.
Knocks him out early or late?
Earlier rather than later. I think the later it goes, it favors Woodley.
Hey, we're going to get rough and rowdy out there, right? Big Cat, your official prediction, what is it? Oh, what's happening? What's happening?
I'm done doubting the Paul brothers. You see it right here.
Make sure you like the damn video.
What's happening, Logan?
Or dislike it.
Come on.
Who cares?
No, come on. Come on. Come on, show me how much of a pussy I am. Hey, come on. Come show me how much of a pussy I am. You, I'm looking at you. Walk up the fucking aisle, get on stage, and show me how much of a pussy I am. Yeah, that's what I thought, bitch.
All right.
Get the fuck
Oh. Let's. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Come on. That's what I thought.
It's all good. I got your back, Logan. I got your back, just to let you know. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Big Cat, can we get your prediction as well?
I was literally just saying I don't doubt the Paul brothers anymore for shit like this. They know how to put asses in the seats. Jake Paul's probably going to knock him out. I'll say a minute and a half into the fight.
All right, and Logan, I know you're going for your bro, but how does he win Sunday night?
It's a knockout, a big right hand. It always is with Jake. No one can survive that thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again after he knocks out Tyron with his right hand. Round 2 or 3, it's not going past it.
Jimmy, no respect for the chosen one here. No one's picking Tyron Woodley. We're going to find out tomorrow. But for now, we got to bring out Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley.
That was some cringe shit right there. They're about to play some promo, I think, and we can't watch that because that's copyright. Yo, man, all right. Listen. Everything was going good. Get the tattoo chick. You know, I was enjoying the weigh-ins. And then you pull that crap right there. You know the motherfucker can't get on the stage. So we're going to be here tomorrow night. The pay-per-view starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to open up with, let me pull up the card. It's going to open up with Tommy Fury, the brother of Tyson Fury, taking on that Antonio Taylor dude. Dude is like 0-1. Bullshit. Tommy Fury is 6-0 with 4 KOs, but his combined opponents are something like 14 and 146, some shit like that. See what I'm saying?
And the people that
my bad, I was talking over it. So yeah, they're playing a little promo here, giving it the whole, build up. By the way, if you didn't hear, Pacquiao versus Ugas is, according to Yahoo Sports, Kevin Iole, his numbers are to be trusted, is trending around 250,000 pay-per-view buys, which is, to me, I expected it to do about 290 or so. Pay-per-views is dying. At $74.99, 250,000 pay-per-view buys is about 18 million or so. So, But anyway, let me pull up the card here for you. I mean, I'm cool with it. I can't say that I put it this way. As I said earlier, I'm at like a 6 of 10 for hypeness. I'm like, all right, I can do this. I like this card. I was like, all right, but I'm not like, oh, yo, I'm fucking hype. I can't wait to see this shit. However, I am going to go ahead and say that I do have Tyron Woodley winning. I think Jake Paul has met his match. Like, this is a fighter, like a real lifelong fighter in Tyron Woodley. Here, let me pull it up real quick. And even if Jake Paul does lose, he still always wins. Because he's going to be like, it took for a former world champion mixed martial artist to knock me out. You think he would care if he loses and have to get a tattoo? Like, he's a computer internet troll. Like, that shit ain't going to hurt him if he loses.
Main event of the evening, brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions, Holden Productions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View. At this time, please welcome to the stage from St. Louis, Missouri, making his boxing debut, the former MMA star and tremendous UFC welterweight champion of the world, the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, from Cleveland, Ohio. 3 wins, no losses, all 3 wins coming by way of knockout. The media and boxing sensation. Escorted by the drum corps, ladies and and gentlemen, the problem child, Jake Paul.
He gonna have that fucking stupid ass robot with me. Watch. I hate that fucking robot.
All right, fans, at this time we bring our fighters to the scale as a cruiserweight special attraction scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. First to the scale, the two-time All-American and Big 12 wrestling champion making his boxing debut. Please welcome the former renowned UFC welterweight champion of the world, the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. 189.5 pounds, 189.5 pounds for Tyron Woodley. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, in his 4th professional bout, the renowned content creator, media sensation, and undefeated fighter. Please welcome the problem child, Jake Paul. Jake Paul weighs in at 190 pounds, even 190 pounds.
Hold on. That shit gonna get me copyrighted. I'm ready for this shit to end. I hope Tyron do it.
Cruiserweight showdown, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, live from the Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse here in Cleveland, Ohio. Pay-per-view on Showtime.com and the Showtime app.
Wait here, Jake. I'll come to you second. Let me get a quick question with Tyron here, with the chosen one, with one of the greatest UFC welterweight champions of all time. This man is on the Mount Rushmore of UFC welterweight champions. You have fought in front of thousands of fans all over the world. Madison Square Garden, the Honda Center, Las Vegas, you name it. Could you tell us, before your boxing debut, what is going through your mind right now, Tyron, as you take on Jake Paul?
It's over. It's over. That's all I can think about. It's over. I'm about to go big in every level, every plane, every category. He's shaking, he quivering, and it's dude, he should be, because I'm about to hurt him in a way he never felt before.
Tyron.
And that's on Mama Woodley.
And that's on Mama Woodley. Jake, if I can get a quick word with you as well. What do you got there?
Just my Raising Cane's. You know, it's my lucky meal. One love. Chicken fingers, Tyron's a chicken. It makes sense.
What did you say to him up there?
I said, you're dead. That was it. I tried to grab his cheeks, but...
You told me on Thursday, when you look in his eyes, you see sadness.
Yo, come on. Why don't you guys let him back on?
All right.
Habitual hat grabber.
All right.
He got quick hands. I see. You got to watch out for him. I'm bald. You messing with my hat, some bad things gonna happen to you. I'm gonna do some real nasty shit to you, bro. You fuck with my hat. You gonna see the rage.
It is personal between these two guys. Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. Available globally via Showtime pay-per-view tomorrow night. Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. One of the greatest fighters of all time in mixed martial arts, making his pro boxing debut against the one and only, the undefeated, the problem child, Jake Paul. Jimmy Lennon, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, everybody here joining us live. This concludes our official weigh-in for our big fight night coming away tomorrow night. We look forward to seeing you live here from the Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse in Cleveland, Ohio. And to those of you who are joining us on live stream, we invite you to stay tuned for a wrap-up show with Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and stay tuned.
Oh, they're probably going to talk to both of them again. So we're going to stick around then.
We are here. It is finally happening. We have 1 day to go before Jake Paul takes on Tyron Woodley. Nothing left to do except the fights. Hello, everyone. My name is Luke Thomas. That's Brian Campbell. The weigh-ins are now official. They're in the books. Of course, they were official this morning, Brian, but the ceremonial weigh-ins are over. We are going to have some guests that join us throughout the course of this post-weigh-in show. But first, BC, your reaction to everything that just happened.
You know, this wasn't gotcha hat per se, but it was gotcha attention. This fight has knocked on the doors of not only combat sports fans, not only the specific fans of both these guys, whether it come from an MMA side or a social influencer side, but I think it's captured the sports attention, just the viral attention, because of this is a unique event. It's going to happen on a unique night for combat sports, Sunday night, unique start time, 8 p.m. Eastern. But of this subgenre, I've been saying all week, it's still pay-per-view boxing, but it's got a little pro wrestling magic to it. It's got wild personalities. It's got all that. I think it's got, you know, the attention of all. And the best part about it, we all agree, Jake Paul's playing a character of some sort. But that character can fight a bit. That character can fight. We've seen through 3 pro fights. Is this the fight, though?
Yeah, what was that with that grab your cheeks bullshit? I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I like Jake Paul. I like what he's doing for the sport. But that don't mean I have to root for him to win. You know, don't get me wrong. He brings, you know, like some real, you know, fire to the sport. Especially when you look at, for the last, I'm going to say year or so, he is the most pay-per-view buys of any fighter, right? For the last year. Crazy. So even though his pay-per-views are $60, $50, still nonetheless, he is doing some big things in boxing, and his age matches up, because what is he, only about 25 years old or so? You know, it'll be a real scary world if, you know, whenever he starts fighting boxers and they start managing him to fight guys that he can beat, and then he somehow gets himself a ranking. Can you imagine if the WBA was still on some bullshit where they're probably trying to line him up for a WBA world, you know, fight? I mean, I've seen enough to know that Jake Paul, you know, he has something there, but not enough where I can say he can beat a boxer or a former UFC like a UFC champion. You know, like Woodley got some hands. I'm not saying Jake Paul can't knock him out, but I can't pick Jake Paul over him. I can't. And Jake Paul doesn't lose anyway, because even if he gets knocked out, he already made it to this point where he's getting like pay-per-views that he's headlining against a UFC fighter, a former UFC champion. Now, the fight's tomorrow night on Showtime pay-per-view, $60. Sunday night. It's going to open up with Tommy. I was pulling it up here on the screen. It's going to open up with I'll leave this up here, but let me pull it up. It's going to open up with Tommy Fury versus a Antonio Taylor. Is that dude's name? Let me check real quick. Yeah, Tommy Fury versus Anthony Taylor. Daniel Dubois versus... No, Tommy Fury versus... This is the card. Tommy Fury versus Anthony Taylor. Psycho Ivan the Terrible Baranchyk versus Montana Love. Daniel Dubois versus Joe Cusumano. And then you got Amanda Serrano versus Yamileth Mercado. And then Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. So, listen, none of them fights mean shit to me outside of possibly that. I'm talking about a fight that really, really like means something. It's like, all right, this can go either way. Baranchyk versus Montana Love. but Dubois is expected to, you know, wipe out, obliterate Joe Cusumano. Tommy Fury is expected, you know, to knock out Anthony Taylor, who's 0-1, by the way. You know, and Amanda Serrano, Yamileth Mercado, okay, I'm interested in that. 126-pound titles. WBC, WBO, and the IBO. Ooh, that's on the line, too. But besides that, you know, the card is not really like, you know, like calling me. You dig? It's not like I'm like, yo, you know, I can't wait to see, you know, what the fuck, I can't wait to see it. You dig? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, let's see what they're talking about.
Could really either scare Tyron with my craziness or just let him know that you know, I'm for real under here and this is going to be a war. I don't think he succeeded in that because Tyron has navigated these waters so well. So I think at this point it's still more about, let me just bang that drum to make sure everybody knows we're doing this Sunday night in Cleveland. But I think he's got that attention. I think this fight has crossed over and people...
What are y'all talking about? Y'all talking about bigot shit in the chat? Bigot shit? You know what? That's why I don't read the chat.
I'll say this, in terms of the promotion, and we don't know until the fight actually happens, but in terms of promotion, you know, listen, I collect a check from Showtime, and there's my disclaimer, but you got to make a case to me that this fight wasn't promoted well. It was promoted well. Jake Paul knew what he was doing, Tyron Woodley knew what he was doing, and Showtime found a formula between these two, or a situation, I should say, between these two, that they were able to shed some light on. It's going to be, to this point, it has been the best it could be given the circumstances. But they have to deliver tomorrow. That's the key. That's where kind of Logan Paul and Floyd fell apart. All right, we have our first set of guests here. Two gentlemen that don't need much of an introduction at all. To my right is El Presidente, the head of Barstool Sports. To my left, Big Cat.
So I'm guessing they're going to get Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul in here to interview. So we're just going to ride it out until then.
Weren't you just in West Virginia?
You know what? Surprisingly, it's not that far off. We were in West Virginia for Rough and Rowdy. I pitched Rough and Rowdy to Showtime Sports 5 years ago. They're like, oh, it's a circus. No, purists. Look where we are now. Look where we are now.
Certainly got the last word there.
Yeah, no, it's great.
By the way, did you try, I think I saw you try some pizza here in Cleveland.
I did.
How was it?
It's not my favorite style. It's thick, floppy, but it wasn't bad. You know, I'm lighter. I'm easier now. At my older age, I've gotten a little easier on the scoring.
Are you enjoying your time in Cleveland?
I am. I wish we'd get these cameras moved back a little. I'm a little too close.
Yes.
Not a great angle. But we're excited to be here. I know, Dave.
We get on a real network, and you got to tuck that in.
If you don't look bloated, then you ain't trying here, okay? There you go.
That was stunning.
Yeah, this is a little bit disaster all the way around, but it's okay.
It's bad.
Big Cat, I want to hit you up with this because I'm
You're
just saying
sucking
it.
in right now.
And they're wearing sport clothes.
Yes. We are doing a better job at camouflaging, but we all
If I show
the same.
too much package, would you let me know, please? Here's the deal. This is boxing, meaning they're going to touch gloves. It's a professional fight, but the atmosphere is anything but. I mean, there was almost crowd participation up there of who wants to fight Logan Paul on this stage. Are you liking this kind of stuff, this pro wrestling,
I love
this craziness?
I love it. It sells tickets. People are interested in the Paul brothers. Like we said, we just came from West Virginia. The fight game, this is the fun part. Obviously, watching the matches is great. Like, watching the fights is great. But selling a fight is awesome. And that's kind of what we do day to day.
I was going to ask you, you said you're not in a position to doubt the Paul brothers anymore.
Yeah.
Sounds like you used to.
I did. I absolutely did. Because I thought, okay, what do they know? Like, you guys obviously know boxing very well. I'm a fan of boxing. Like, it's a very, very tough sport. You can't just jump into it. But they've done a good job. And they've looked good every time they've gone out there.
Are you a big believer in the Pauls?
I don't know what I am. I mean, I honestly don't, but that is the magic, more so of Jake. Like, I mean, you know, Logan, I was at that fight, and 50-0 versus 0-1. It's like, what? But this fight in particular, it doesn't matter the sport. When someone knocks somebody out in the fashion that he has, I don't care who they're fighting, that just piques human interest. Like, does this guy have that power in his hand? So that is what it is. People are tuning in. Yeah, it's a circus and everything else. But Jake Paul, the fashion he has won, has made a must watch. And I will give credit. I say the people picking his fights are geniuses because every fight is a step up and at the right level where you're like, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here. And I know there's people who believe Woodley will end this, and that's what you want. You got a guy with a lot of power and intrigue, and there hasn't been many of those fights in boxing, pure boxing, in a while.
I think you guys would agree. love him or hate him, Jake Paul's a viable, legitimate
He's a
boxing
good
pay-per-view brand. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, is he? He's definitely pay-per-view. Is he boxing? I don't know yet.
Well, he's a good athlete, and he has the money to train properly. I guess the question I would have is, and Dave and I always talk about it, once you get to a level where the opponent has the hand speed, a true boxer's hand speed is the differentiator, right? Does Woodley have that? I don't know. You guys tell me.
He's got big power. He does have the big power.
That's not hand speed. You can overcome power as long as you're not.
But if you can beat the speed with good timing.
Yeah.
So if you know what you're looking for, which you look at that counter two that he used to drop Darren Till. Granted, it's MMA, it's not boxing, but still, that's perfect timing. If he can bring that to bear, could get a little dicey.
Yeah, and it's just so impossible to tell. That's why the matchmaking is perfect, and there's no doubt he's the draw. You can't deny that. And if he keeps stepping up, eventually you figure we're going to figure this out. This could be the time. That's what makes it so interesting.
I think it's what we don't know about both that make this fight so interesting. And if I was a marketer in the Jake Paul team, I almost don't want him to prove that he's real as long as you can, because I think that brings the eyeballs. When you're that polarizing, people want to see you win just as passionately as they want to see you lose. And I think I don't know if he's good, but he's expertly navigated the road. That means he's kind of got me hooked in finding out. And I think, but that shtick though. Prez, would that play in your high school? Would he have got beaten up for this shtick?
No, not really. And as much as we're talking about it, I mean, Mike Tyson bit a guy's ear off, and Conor McGregor is the greatest mic guy of all time. Muhammad Ali's the greatest talker of all time. So what he's doing, he's just taking the internet era really with it. Right. But trash talking, selling fights, that's day one stuff in the fight business.
In a weird way, the hardest part about selling fights is being that guy, and they already were those guys.
Do you guys think Tyron's a little bit slept on? I came into this week being like, well, this is kind of the Jake Paul show, and then I watched the face-off that they did. Tyron was in control of that, man.
Well, and it also didn't help, obviously, that Ben Askren, I don't know if he wanted to be there, but you have the UFC fighter fight him, he gets knocked out, and now it's another UFC fighter, so you're like, oh, it's going to be the same thing. So to the answer to your question, yes, I think he's definitely slept on.
Do you agree?
Slept on in the sense of what he's going to do, or I couldn't tell if you meant just his presence.
There is something of an idea, you ask certain people in town, that he's being brought in for a job. He's being brought in because, he's serviceable, but he doesn't really have a chance at winning. I guess I'm saying how legitimate in your mind is his chance of winning?
So I was talking to Dan, and I was with UFC people well known in Miami, and they were telling me they would have bet all their money that Ben Askren is get knocked out fast. Okay. And this was 2 months ago, and they said, we'll take that same money, we'll put it all in Woodley. And I could tell the way they were looking, they were dead serious. We saw them tonight. They're like, you're crazy, we're telling you. And they say it in a way that I believe them. I don't pretend to know enough about either side, but I believe that this is a legitimate fight. And we got to see, he's never been hit. We got to see a guy get hit.
Yeah.
We've just never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the longer it goes, gets more interesting. I think that benefits Woodley.
But how marketable could this be? Meaning, does this bubble that the Paul brothers have created of this celebrity crossover, does it burst with a Jake loss? How long can this be sustained?
I think in boxing you always get a rematch. You know what I mean? So if he loses on Sunday night, tomorrow night, he probably would get. I'd buy a rematch. But then if he lost 2 in a row, then I think you probably do a little.
Well, then you get the brother up in the bullpen. Okay, then you get Logan.
But the rematch always plays.
But Logan's lost before too. I really think he doesn't have the credibility to survive. Definitely not more than 2 losses because we haven't fought. Where a guy with a track record who's beaten a lot of guys and has a career, he can come back. But he's still unique. There's not many of these celebrity guys out there because.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring out the other fighters. They would have done it already. But I'm getting up out of here. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to be streaming after the fight for the post-fight press conference. I'm going to be covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights on the card. So 5 post-fight videos you can expect from me. 1 for Tommy Fury versus Anthony Taylor. 1 for Dubois versus Joe Cusumano. 1 for Ivan the Terrible versus Montana Love. 1 for Amanda Serrano versus Yamileth Mercado. And Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. So it's $59.99 on Showtime pay-per-view. Next week is the Mauricio Lara versus Josh Warrington 2. Katie Taylor fighting the girl she's fighting, Jennifer Hahn, I believe her name is. Conor Ben versus Adrian Granados. And I think Ebony Bridges is on that card. Then the week after that, another degenerate card. Oscar De La Hoya is looking real good. He's fighting Vitor Belfort. Anderson the Spider Silva's taking on Tito Ortiz. David Hay versus Joe Fournier. Crazy. Yeah, I don't. I try to stay away from the chat. It's some degenerates, and I try not to read the chat. That's why I put it on the screen so you guys can read it and other people can see how crazy this shit is sometimes. These guys are nuts. But anyway, I think this is going to be it for them. Oh, let me do my little quick predictions real quick on the card. I got Tommy Fury over Anthony Taylor. Charles Conwell over Juan Carlos Rubio. Woodley over Jake Paul. I think I want to pick Baranchyk over Montana Love. Montana Love is 15-0-1, by the way. I'm thinking he's the favorite to win, but I'm thinking I'm going to pick Baranchyk. And then I got Amanda Serrano. And apparently the De La Hoya Belfort fight is supposed to go on the records. On their records. Like, from my understanding, Oscar De La Hoya is like trying to fight. And it's like, bro, you tripping. He had his little media workout last week. Oh, is it a fight? Some shit went down?
Have a total on how many
I
fights
believe he's sliding in now, so I don't mean to boot you guys, but Logan Paul.
You can ask him about this too, because he works with us as well.
Yes. I'll ask if he's heard of you guys first.
Go get the Barstool Sports betting app. It's amazing, the sportsbook app.
I guess we got to listen to
better
Logan
cameras.
Paul.
This is terrible.
I won't argue with that.
Also, the sports jackets help.
You guys, we didn't know we were doing this. No one told us.
Your tan is okay, though, I have to say.
I work hard at it.
I can tell. Enjoy Cleveland, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. All right, so Logan Paul is over here to this direction, and
I believe we are getting him up in the hopper
we're supposed to get him up in the
take
hopper.
a sit down with us. Logan Paul also will be a part of the call.
I feel bad about that question, but I didn't realize they were
You'll
on the ring
recover.
apron.
Just roll and recover. Logan Paul will also be a part of the broadcast Sunday night. Bellator champion AJ McKee. Brian Custer will be your host above the arena before throwing to that.
Let's reset for just a second. If you're watching, of course, we always encourage people to buy the pay-per-view ahead of time, not to wait until the last minute if you can. You can go to show.com, SHO.com/PPV. You can see the URL right there on the lower third. If you're interested in buying this fight, if you plan on buying this fight, no time like the present. Don't wait until the last minute, where sometimes, obviously we hope it doesn't happen, but sometimes there can be technical problems. Okay, joining us now is a gentleman who is no stranger to these kinds of bright lights, these kinds of strange scenarios. It's the brother of Jake Paul. It's Logan Paul. What's up, man?
It's all weird. It's all a strange scenario.
Logan, you
got
almost,
the Polaroid action.
I don't know if it was going to be a spin-off reality show, but you were basically offering any fan to take a shot at that chin. Got a little heated over there.
Bro,
you were offering them a shot at the title, and they didn't want one.
They didn't want it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to call someone a pussy.
Is that what he did? We were here. We had the headphones on. Is that what he did?
Yeah,
okay.
he said, you're a pussy. And look, he's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to call someone such a vulgar word, there are sometimes
there's protocol,
ramifications that take place. I gave him an opportunity. He had a moment, right? Like, for the rest of his life, that was that dude's moment. He could have walked on stage. By the way, what was I going to do? I'm not going to fucking assault a guy. Like, he lost. It was strictly a bluff.
I'm sure that robot, your brother's robot, would have helped out.
Smacked him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what was playing on the robot's chest?
The win by Nate Marquardt over Tyron Woodley for the the Strikeforce welterweight.
One of the most vicious knockout KOs.
Standing elbow KO, yeah.
So I'm Jake's brother, okay?
Did you know?
As we know.
Good to establish that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we know. I'm even impressed with the level
of troll
that this dude goes to troll. Dude, he put televisions on his robot's chest.
On his jumblies.
And has Tyron Woodley getting knocked out on repeat.
His clearly worst loss. Yeah. Yeah,
I
posted that on social media, and even some of the fans who aren't necessarily fans of your brother, even they were like, okay, troll game A+.
He has a pet robot, dude.
People want to know though. See, I don't want to give things away. I do know. Okay, is there a man under that? Is this operated by a machine? People want to know about this robot.
As far as I know, it's a fully autonomous AI robot.
Oh wow.
I don't think that's true. Okay. Still, how are you doing? How you feeling? Good?
Yeah.
A little nervous for your brother? How do you feel one sleep away, so to say?
So far, so good. My nerves for Jake's fight usually happen when the bell rings, and they last for about 60 seconds. And then so far, Jake has usually ended the fight by then, so we're good. But, tomorrow I could see it going maybe even 2 rounds.
So you don't think it goes to, let's say, 4 or 5?
Man.
It could. I don't know.
We all said that Tyron Woodley, that this was great matchmaking because Tyron Woodley could be the guy to prove Jake's not ready for this level. Of all his opponents, this is the toughest one. Is that what you believe? Do you believe that there's a chance that Jake could have to walk through a little bit of heck to still win this fight?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about Jake. A lot of people don't think he can do. Like, you haven't even seen peak Jake. You've seen 10% of him, right? Like, we just see him knock people out. No one's seen him take a punch. No one's seen him recover from adversity. That's the real shit he's done his whole life. You know, he is so used to doing what people say he can't. It's so funny because if you really wanted Jake Paul to lose, I would almost like cheer for him, because if you go against him, you're gonna lose. It's just the way it is. But the kid's an outlier. He's the problem child. He goes against the grain.
When he told you that this was the fight he was going to sign up for, what was your first reaction?
Robot is a fucking bigot.
Tough guy. You see Tyron today. I don't know if you saw him weigh in.
Good shape.
I mean, you guys were here.
Yeah,
he's looking good.
Yeah,
I believe it.
He got a six-pack.
Did you see the face-off he did with the show with Ariel? He did.
No, what happened?
Well, I gotta say, Tyron held his own in the trash talking away.
You know what?
Yeah,
I saw clips. I seen. You know, it's
Did Jake take an L on that? You need to serve here.
So
put the ruling out there.
I tell Jake, I'm like, pretty much anything you do is an uphill battle, at least on social media, right? Like, you come to Cleveland, you have fans that are supporting him. He walks out here, everyone in the crowd is cheering. Not everyone, but a majority of the crowd is cheering, right?
This is Jake Paul country, for sure.
Exactly. So there is a massive difference between real life and the internet. And when it comes to the internet, Jake does have a bit of an uphill battle because he is like the villain as he's painted himself. So, you know, if Tyron maintains a straight, stoic demeanor and Jake's trolling can't get under his skin, like, maybe he came out victorious in the sit down, right? But at the end of the day, none of this shit matters.
Right.
Like
they were grading his counter shots, though. They were grading the
Yeah, but his point is, like, if it doesn't translate to the fight, right? What difference does it make?
Come on. I saw Daniel Cormier, a fucking UFC legend and commentator, a fight analysis expert. I saw Daniel Cormier watch Ben Askren push Jake, and that was enough for Daniel to go, Ben's going to win the fight. And we're all like, what the fuck are you talking about? That has nothing to do with anything. Like, that's what made you think. Like, people are often people often forget about the fundamentals of the game. And it's not this. It's not the press conferences. It's not the face-to-face. It's not it's just a fight.
Are you going to be an official cornerman for the fight tomorrow?
No, but I'll be there with this.
With the Polaroid?
That's right.
Is that like a sponsored thing?
No.
Are they making a comeback, the Polaroids?
No.
No, they're not. Just you put it out there. Yeah. So you're going to be in the locker room, and then
he's going to be on the broadcast team again.
I understand.
I want to introduce you to the people we'll be working with this weekend.
I understand.
Y'all got a thing going on?
We hate each other. It's really
okay. Maybe the best show in combat sports history we do together. Anyway, cool. Listen, you went the distance with Floyd Mayweather.
I did it.
Showtime pay-per-view.
Here we go.
You were there?
Yeah, in Miami. Removed from it now. Hearing the good, hearing the bad, the reaction. This is a win for you, right? I mean, this is a win.
Come on, baby. I retired Floyd Mayweather. The greatest boxer of all time is on my highlight reel, bro.
How bad did he ever sting you with any of those shots? Like, was there one that was like...
There was one where I definitely was like, oh, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty good.
His timing was pretty good, huh?
Dude, I'm not kidding. Every single clean shot that he got me with, I have no idea where it came from. To this day, I have no idea.
Have you gone back and watched the fight?
No, never.
So you just lived it and never looked back?
Nah.
Wow.
I mean, yes, yeah.
What was did you have a takeaway for your brother now that you've thought about it? Like, the biggest lesson from that you could impart to him?
So we're very different, obviously. We're yin and yang. Like, we are pretty much the exact same, but also polar opposites. And my revelation, I don't think would apply to the way Jake fights. His combat demeanor is not the same as mine. When I'm having fun and I'm truly just me and grounded, that's when I'm performing at my best. Jake is very serious. He is stoic. He's an angry young man. He wants to hurt people, and especially the guy across from him.
Even though this is Paul brother territory, it can go both ways, right? Some people like being in their hometown because they like the adulation of their neighbors, and some are like, that's when all the pressure is on.
Especially if you're polarizing, which both you and your brother are. I mean, you're attracting the people that want to see you lose to come by your stuff.
So how do you think it's going to go when the crowd? I think it's going to be majority cheers, but still, it's the hometown, right? Could that be a little extra pressure?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just also don't think Jake cares like about anything. Like, really, you can't rattle him.
boos, cheers. It means nothing to us.
Do you guys do a thing where it's like, my pay-per-view sold a little bit more than yours? Do you guys do that bit?
Yeah.
How do those conversations go?
I got him beat.
So far, I gotta say, you got a pretty heavy lead.
I had a little bit of a cheat code.
You have a little bit. You had only Floyd Mayweather, but nevertheless,
he helped.
All right, we can't kick you off without getting into like your future. Some people, there's a rumor that he retired after he retired Floyd, and then he retired. Are we going to see you back in this realm of I don't want to say celebrity crush? Jake's not trying to act like a celebrity. He's trying to act like a real fighter. Yeah. You fought like a real fighter. Are you coming back and doing it again?
Have to. It's the most fun thing in the world.
If Tyron wins, is he on the menu?
He's not going to win.
Okay, let's say he gets a ref intervention, and he somehow gets his hand raised. He's not on the menu.
Unable to compute, bro. I don't.
He doesn't understand what that means, right?
I'm just trying to say.
I don't know what you're saying.
Is there any circumstance under which Tyron Woodley is a future opponent?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you have a name in mind?
Yeah.
Can you tell us here on Showtime?
No.
I
know who it is.
Does it rhyme with Spanish and Schmilva?
Does your opponent have facial hair?
One of those. Yeah. 20 questions.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, Logan, it's nice to see you. And we cannot wait to see your brother tomorrow. Should be a good time. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Take that picture.
Yeah.
There it is.
I look a little Cleveland this week, right? I can belong. I could have.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure, guys.
All right, guys.
As always.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Sir.
Have fun tomorrow.
Thank you.
This
nice
is a wild
backpack too, by the way.
This is a wild post show.
Right.
That's a fellow who can wear a man bag. Okay, Luke Thomas.
Yeah, he can wear a man
not you
bag.
so much. Okay?
I understand. I don't wear one out of coolness. I just wear one out of necessity because I'm old and washed.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, I like Logan better than Jake. Jake just comes off a little too off-putting, man. Both of them dudes are sitting on top of the world. How long is it going to last? I mean, listen, milk the boxing game as much as you can, like while you can, especially for guys like that who, I don't know if they're really, especially Jake, think he's going to be a world champion one day, but why not go for it? Fuck it, especially if you're making all this money. They got guys like us watching. I'm not going to throw no shade. It's just that tomorrow, I think that Jake Paul's going to lose. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. T Street Controversy with FightView360.com.